we will go ahead and get started. Same as usual, please raise your hand and I'll call on you and Kurt will answer your question. John, you can begin.
Hi, Coach. Thank you for your time. Upcoming in a couple of weeks, you're going to play Chicago 3 times in about 11 days. Is that a challenge to play the same team that many times in that short of a span?
John, I know that's true, but I can't think past New York. But to answer your question, I think it's a great opportunity that mimics playoffs in a playoff series. It gets to teach adjustments in a quick turnaround with the same team. So I know that's upcoming, but my focus is truly on New York right now.
Understand. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Ned?
Howdy, Kurt. Is everybody as rested as they can be after a full day off?
The best part is, to me, we got the practice. Now they all think we practiced too long and too hard the last 2 days. So, but we had, good practice time. It's just when you play 9 games in 19 days, there's no practices. There's no practice with tempo or intensity or duration. So these were, 2 good practices after a day off. I feel better being on the floor, working with them. That's what I enjoy so much about the game, is teaching the game. So, they're rested. It's nice to be in your own bed for consecutive nights, but it also is nice to be back on the practice floor.
What's the scouting report on New York? How much have they changed over a year?
Yeah, they're playing tremendous basketball and obviously brought a unique style to our league last year, and you can see it really starting to develop now. Positionless basketball, undersized basketball, spread you out, live a lot with threes and layups, right? Threes and layups, playing very much analytic basketball like the NBA. Benijah Laney has had 8 straight games, over 20 points. They use her as a screener to get switches of the matchups that they want onto her, very similar to the NBA. So they manipulate your defense to get matchups that they want. They don't overcomplicate things and play a very unique style that you don't see around the league. So you have to prepare for it. And with our quick turnarounds, it's not always easy to do. But they're shooting tremendously. Their efficient field goals are off the charts. They're playing at a tempo that's impressive. You gotta tip their hat. New York is playing really, really good basketball right now.
Thanks, Kurt.
Alexa?
Hi, Kurt. I'm just kind of curious from your perspective of being around the league for a few years now. Benijah Laney just becoming this, basically at this point, an all-star caliber player, if she keeps up what she's been doing so far this season, versus like being cut only a few years ago. Is her trajectory, is that surprised you at all? Or do you think it speaks to like the talent in this league, where if they're given a chance to really develop or in the right situation with the right team, that they can, really thrive like she has?
Having coached Benijah, she has a tremendous motor, always has. And coming out of Rutgers earlier in her pro career, was regarded as a defender, just a high energy, physical guard that could really defend. Her offense was inconsistent. And she had all 3 levels of her game, but it was inconsistent. She was capable 3-point shooter, but not a consistent 3-point shooter. She was, a capable one-on-one player, but it wasn't always consistent. Where she's really grown is her offensive consistency, and arguably is the best one-on-one player in the league right now. And that's saying a lot with Enrique and some of these other guys that can go create their own shot. She can post guards up. She can take you off the bounce. And then she's got a good pull-up game, and she's been incredibly consistent at the arc over the last 2 years. So you just really got to commend her development and her ability to now have offensive consistency. It's really fun to watch, and someone that coached her have great admiration because she is a terrific, and I tell you, terrific teammate. So just really happy for her development. Again, in a perfect system right now, but honestly, she had this kind of year last year for Atlanta in a totally different system. So, you have to tip your hat to her. She's really worked hard for the consistency on the offensive end and now has played herself into one of the elite players in the league.
Thank you.
Mike?
Hey, Kurt. Yesterday when we were talking to Dewana, she kind of took some time to praise Bree Jones. What has Bree brought to this team this year so far?
A presence, it doesn't matter. DB's newer to the team these last year and a half, but the veterans like Jasmine Thomas, Alyssa Thomas have been saying it from the beginning. Like, Bree Jones is so underrated, and she brings us a presence, right? We want to play through the paint. That's our identity. She gives us a high percentage finisher around the paint, and an option to go to. But where she's really helped us is she's really talented defensively in terms of scheming. She's got a great X's and O's mind. She's always ahead. The game slows down for Bree Jones because she's so intelligent, X's and O's wise, that her mind thinks ahead. So she just really, really helps us at the defensive end, physical against these really talented, big post players, the grinders, the fouls, the Liz Cambages. So that way. And then you just got to credit her. She's in the best shape of her life. And, that continues to help her grow her game because she's, so physically fit right now. In where she's at in her pro career.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Kurt? Alexa, or you?
Yeah, I have one other quick one. Kurt, I know this is looking at a little bit, but is there anything you can say about JJ and participating in Eurobasket, if that's happening, or when she would leave for that, if so?
Yeah, we'll have a statement shortly, Alexa, on that. We'll put out a more formal statement, and good luck to JJ with her upcoming FIBA. I don't even know, FIBA World Championship qualifier. That, please don't quote me on that. That's probably not the correct term.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll get started. Please raise your hand and I will call on you for questions for Jasmine. If anyone has, she's in media. Ned?
Afternoon, Jazz.
Hi.
How did you enjoy your one-day vacation Wednesday?
It was cool. I mean, it was nice to have a day off after how we started the season, really playing every other day.
What'd you do? Anything good or sleep?
Relaxed. My family was in town.
Oh, wow, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yep.
Anyone else for Jazz? Was everyone on for, okay, John? Alexa? Or
No,
John?
sorry
Okay,
about that.
go ahead.
Sorry. You guys are ranked pretty high now in the power rankings in the WNBA. Does that put extra pressure on you, or is that something that just helps make you guys thrive, or don't you even care?
I feel like I should say we don't really care. I think we just kind of play our game, and power rankings is more so a thing that other people are noticing about our team, is that we're here to compete this season for a championship, and we just got to keep getting better and keep doing what we're doing.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Alexa?
Hey Jazz, in terms of preparing for New York, what have you seen from that team in terms of how they've really turned things around from last year, brought in new personnel, and especially having players like Minaj Laney and now Sabrina back to help really make their system work?
I mean, I think the main thing is that they have experience now. They were really young last year with a lot of rookies. Some pieces which have obviously stuck and were necessary, but in their free agency, they signed some people that they can really play through, that can, be leaders on that team. They're just playing good basketball. They're positionless. They play with a good pace, and they're tough to match up with because they have a bunch of people that can play different positions. And then you obviously throw Sabrina in that mix, who's able to really put all those pieces together. She's off to a good start to her year.
And obviously, this isn't maybe affecting you as much. I could have probably asked this to one of the post players, but given their more positionless style that they play, like 5 out, how are you kind of preparing for those matchups with you guys having maybe advantage and being able to, pound the ball inside, but then on the other end of the floor, given what they're going to be doing on the other end, that
Yes.
they're going to try and take advantage of that.
For sure. I mean, we definitely will put an emphasis on our inside game as always. That's usually how we like to play, is inside and out. And for us defensively, just matchups, when we're playing in transition, we're going to be cross-matched maybe. So getting back up to our matchups is important, but also just defending without fouling. We're going to have to extend our bigs out a little. Good practices. I'm happy that we were able to have that time to prepare for this game.
Thank you.
Danny, you'll be the last question for Jazz.
Okay, thank you. I just was curious, just in what you've seen of the Liberty so far in preparing. Ionescu hasn't played as well because teams have defended her really well. What have you picked up from the way teams have played her and kind of taken her out of her rhythm? Because she is, when she's on, right? But what have you seen of her and maybe the way teams have defended her recently?
I mean, just being physical, maybe throwing different looks at her to try to keep her guessing so she can't, get in a rhythm. But I think for the most part, it's also the pieces that she has around her, so when she's drawing attention from other people and she's able to make those passes or find her open players, I think that's when it's, it really gets tough to defend her and them as a team. So it's a big one-on-one matchup. I think how the best you're able to stay in plays with her, the better chance you have to slow her down. But she's smart, she's crafty, she's still going to find a way to make an impact on the floor for sure.
Okay, thank you so much. You're all set. We'll send in Natisha.
Okay.
John.
Hi, Natisha. Early on in training camp, you were the team veteran for an extended period of time. How valuable was that experience in your overall growth this season?
Yeah, it just gave me an opportunity to lead and really be vocal, and just gave me a lot of reps and a lot of there's a bug. A lot of reps and just gave me a lot of confidence going into the season.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Charlotte?
Hey, Natisha, just kind of wanted to ask how you're feeling and just that consistency that you've been achieving, given you kind of came in late with the COVID last year. So how does it feel to get a full kind of start to the year and just be playing the way you have been?
Yeah, so just with the season last year, everybody was impacted with COVID. We started the season super late, which led to just playing every other day. But just being able to be a part of training camp this year and really, get 2 weeks of practice and 2 weeks to prepare for the season to begin. I think it really helped out a lot and helped me personally a lot to be able to get to know my teammates and just practice.
Alexa?
Hey, Natisha, what's just been the focus with your guys' defensive scout getting ready for the game against New York?
Yeah, they have a lot of talented pieces on their team, and they play pretty positionless. Like a lot of people play a lot of different positions. So I think, you know, our plan going in is just being very versatile and being able to make adjustments on the fly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. No more questions for you.